Why are Brighton so good? From finishing 20th in the Championship in 14-15 to getting promoted to the Premier League in just 2017. Still relegation candidates just 2 years ago, and now they are fighting for the Champions League. How are Brighton so good? In this video, we're going to discuss what has made the Seagulls from a relegation competing side to a side competing for the Champions League. The first key thing is recruitment. As we all know, Brighton's recruitment is simply incredible. They've gone to every corner of the globe in order to find the best new talents, and the football world are in shock, in all honesty. You know, many of us haven't even heard of some of the players they're signing, and it's simply incredible. People like Caicedo and Mitoma, Trossard as well, those three were signed for a combined €23.5 million. Caicedo and Mitoma were signed for a combined €8 million. They sold Trossard for $24 million in January with only 6 months left on his contract, which means they've already made a profit from those 3 transfers alone, with a player only having 6 months left of their contract. Just look at how well their recruitment is. They keep the recruitment process going. They've brought in Julio Incisco and Facundo Buonanotte, I think it's pronounced. And they seem like these will be the next 2 players in the long line of the Brighton production process, of which they can then sell on for massive, massive profits. Yet good recruitment alone won't bring you results. These players might not be good enough. You can go to every corner of the globe, but the players might not be good enough. They might not fit the system. They might not fit the country. This is where Brighton's scouting department deserves a massive, massive round of applause, with Brighton succeeding almost in every transfer they do. A club of Brighton's side, any club outside the Big Six, in all honesty, can't usually afford to fail with transfers. They can't afford for them not to work out. And Brighton seem to work most, if not all of the time. Brighton have also profited in the last 2 years of transfer windows from the ins and outs column, with this year having made almost €80 million of transfer profit. However, good players can be good players, but you need a manager in order to make these players work, and Brighton's managerial appointments are always top of the range. Potter was an excellent fit for Brighton after coming in after Chris Hughton. He played an expansive style of football. We all know what Graham Potter did for the club. He took them from a Championship side. Well, they may have been in the Prem, actually. He took them from a middling side to a side that, you know, were good enough to push for Europe. He played expansive football and was obviously always infamously known for the underperforming XG that Brighton always held. However, Potter did leave to go to Chelsea earlier on this year, and that meant that Brighton had to replace the English manager. Who did they do that with? Roberto De Zerbi. I had my suspicions when De Zerbi joined the club, but he's been an excellent fit for the Seagulls. The Brighton side is now fighting for a spot at the Premier League's elite, and the fact that they can do this while making a profit in the transfer window is just simply excellent and really, really good from Brighton. However, we do need to warn Brighton of what can come. As I'm sure you can see by the lampshade up above, I am a Leicester City fan. And what happens when you do change from this system of buying young, hungry players and then selling a couple on at a massive profit so that you can buy more and just consistently refresh the squad like that? Leicester were a club that used to do this. Leicester, let's be honest, Brighton have possibly modelled what they're doing upon Leicester, buying young and hungry players and then managing to sell them onto the bigger side to a big profit. That is what Brighton are doing. That is also what Leicester City did. And then obviously Leicester changed that system. In the summer after Leicester City won the FA Cup, they didn't sell a big player. And after the recent finances have come up from that year, it's been revealed that Leicester lost almost 90 million. This is how Brighton need to be warned. If they do change from the system, it's a really, really good system, but there will be a time when the fans will start to get upset with it and go, no, we want to keep hold of our best players. Why do we need to sell them all the time? That's fine, but you need to be really careful with how you're doing it, because then if you run out of money, you will find yourself back to where the world thinks you belong. But Brighton are an excellently well club. They're constantly bringing in these new, fresh faces, young players from across the globe. Ayari is another one who they've recently brought in, who I really, really like the look of. And I think that Brighton will be a side to compete with for a long, long time to come. What do you make of Brighton's recent success? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. See ya.